7th meeting. Andy emailed them all out to you. I'll entertain a motion and second to approve them if you have no corrections.
So moved.
Thank you, Dick. There a second?
Second.
Thank you, Tyson. Any further discussion? Andy, call roll, please.
Okay, motion on the floor to approve the December 7th, 2020 Planning Commission meeting minutes. Dick?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Gary? Brian?
Yeah, that's fine.
Doug?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
All right, motion carried, minutes approved.
All right, we'll move on to the next item, preliminary plat approval for Greystone Subdivision First Edition. Andy, if you want to go ahead and take over.
You all should have received an email showing the proposed plat. This would be a continuation of Stonehenge Drive. There will be 7 lots in this subdivision, with the terminus being a cul-de-sac. BMU has reviewed and added easements. They corrected the size of the cul-de-sac to accommodate fire trucks and garbage trucks. As part of this plat, Mr. Tinkle is getting some extra ground added to his lot, lot 24 there at the corner. So far, I have received 0 phone calls on this. Well, the only call I received was from John Ford at 904 Greystone, and he had no issues with it. At this time, I will open it up for any comments.
I guess my only question is, from the engineering department, are you all clear on this, Brian?
Yeah, we reviewed it more or less just for lot sizes and conformity to the general regulations. The way this process works is the preliminary plat gets approved by the Planning Commission, basically for size and integrity. Then it goes on to City Council, and then the designer does his final design. At which point, we go through everything and make sure the sanitary sewer and storm sewer and water line is sized properly for the development and that it meets the rest of the standards. So, but yeah, for the most part, he has met the requirements for the preliminary plat.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And we have no issue with them. Like I said, any corrections we had, they made right away, and we should be in good shape.
I would actually like to thank the Tinkles. I know that they did this as a protection of their property investment, but any kind of growth that we can get from individuals deriving that is fantastic. And Brian, so I do appreciate Chad and Jody for that investment in our community and for the potential development of those lots. Thank you.
I certainly will echo your comments, Mayor. I think it's long overdue, frankly. I trust that we can get adequate builders online to take care of the demand.
Mr. Tinkle, what kind of time frame are you looking at here?
Yeah, as you know, I'm pretty new at this experience, and I appreciate all the help Tony Huffle's been giving me. So we're just looking to move at the pace, whatever, I guess all the hurdles that we have to get through dictates. It would be nice to get something started this summer, but I don't know if we'll have drawings approved in time to go out to get bids, and then for those potential contractors to be able to develop it before, as Tony tells me, they get too busy with all the highway stuff that they do. So hopefully this summer, and if not, next summer. And I have to also admit to my naivety on how much this road construction is going to cost. I have to be honest, if that number is overwhelming, I probably won't move forward with it. But Tony has given me some reassurance of what that number should come in at. And if it does come in at that number, we should be okay to move forward.
Okay, well, terrific. I don't, since there was no public comment, nobody really expressed concerns other than one. I don't have any issues with it unless any of you have any questions for Mr. Tinkle or of us. I guess if not, I would entertain a motion to approve or deny, at which point in time this does go on to City Council for their approval.
Before we get to that point, Brian, what about sidewalks out here?
Well, that's a tough area. Sidewalks were not required on the prior development, but they are required now. We've got the same problem out off of Markey Drive. So I believe we will require sidewalks in this development, and just hopefully they will get connected at some point in time.
I'll go ahead and make a motion that,
Mr. Hallett, hold on. Chair had a question.
Sorry, the sidewalks, when would we find out about the sidewalks?
We can have conversations about that during the design phase and what we're going to do. Worst case, you could ask for a variance from the Planning Commission at the final plat approval on that.
Okay.
I'll second the motion.
yeah, my
was
motion was to approve the preliminary plat design and refer the matter on to council.
Barney, you seconded that?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, got a motion on the floor to recommend the preliminary plat approval for Greystone First Edition to City Council. Dick?
Yes.
Barney?
Yes.
Carrie?
Yes.
Tyson?
Yes.
Brian?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
All right, motion carried. We will make recommendation to council. The next council meeting would be February 15th. We'll get down the agenda.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Tinkle.
Thank you.
All right,
Mr.
our
Tinkle?
next item will be the use variance. Andy, do you want to get a hold of Mr. Trippy?
Meeting's over with, right?
Not quite, Barney. More item.
I'm not used to these computers.
Right. Yeah, we've got one more item. Will be the use variance for a restaurant and drinking establishment. And Andy's trying to get a hold of Dr. Trippy right now. Discuss the item.
Hello, Andy. Good afternoon.
Hi, John. Just so you know, I got you on speakerphone and we're ready for your item on the agenda.
Okay.
All right.
You ready?
Hang on. Let me give you an overview and then we'll turn it over to you.
Okay.
The next item on the agenda is a use variance for a restaurant / drinking establishment in an I-2 district located at 110 West Edgerton Street. This is for John Trippy. This would be the old train depot. At this time, I will turn it over to him and he can fill you in on more information and answer any questions you have. John, you're up.
Okay, thanks. First of all, just to kind of clear some air real quickly. Everybody has a lot of comments about from the city to you name it. And I got to tell you, two people, Andy and Brian, are incredible in supporting us, not just simply walking through things like this rezoning thing, but other issues as well. So thank you both, Andy and Brian. Basically, I was informed that this is a production area, and we're going to have a 1867 saloon in the train station, which will mimic, of course, when it was built. In the center of the station is a mini museum with John Marquis' picture everywhere, and what he did and his family did to preserve the station. And then there's a third larger room that is actually, we don't know if it's going to be more of a meeting room or a little general store, but we wanted this to be more like a Trappers, if you will, a child-friendly, a family-friendly place. We do not want to quote bar, if you will. So, but we would be serving alcohol in this to patrons. And some real life is for example, we just went through tasting some taste tests right now. So I guess that's all I need to mention, isn't it, Andy?
Okay. At this time, does anybody have any questions for John?
I will go on record here and note that John did get state plan approval for this project. He does have prints and they are approved, and we have them on file, and he's doing a good job of construction there. In your liquor license, John, I'm just trying to verify you have a production license that you're working on for this, correct?
Yes, it matches Father John's, actually.
Okay, gotcha.
The liquor control board that I've been working with said to make it exactly what Father John's is. So it'll be production, under that production license.
Okay. Andy, have you received any comments from the public?
Go ahead.
Is there any other questions for John?
John, this is Dick Hallett. I know that I happened to be online when we had the Zoom tour through Rotary, and the concern by a Rotarian was that some of the patrons might want to cross the track or get close to the track. I realize that there is a distance between the establishment, the station, and now I'm not talking about the Amtrak, I'm talking about your building, and the active rails. I guess I wouldn't have a problem with that. I guess my question would be, people from the actual Amtrak station crossing the tracks. Has that been addressed, or is that a concern, or I really don't know.
Yeah, actually, we love their business. However, I agree with you. And there's a large sign that says on our building on that side, do not cross railroad tracks. So we've had that up for some time for that very reason. Yes. So I have a concern with that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks, Dick.
Dr. Trippy, it's Mayor Schlade. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Good. I too want to thank you for the investment. Well, you've made many investments in Brian, but again on this project, and I know it's been a little slower with the pandemic than you probably would have liked. Last time I was out there with you, the deck was being built, the platform was being redone that is on the north side of the depot. Had there been a rail put up there, a railing?
No, we had, when we went for a state plan, they didn't, they approved it without one. And one of our concerns was, or recommendations right now, the first two tracks, which is probably, I'm going to say, it's probably 40, 50 feet to the real active tracks. There are 4 tracks. The 2 tracks beside beside are the old, what do you call it, the old, where we put carts, etc. Is against that, where they just changed the train cars. So we've not put up a railing there. We didn't think it was necessary. or the state did, thank goodness.
I think, is it the rail yard that's right back there? That's
the rail, the two rail, yeah, first two, and actually, it's something like 150 feet or so to the other side, but yeah.
Okay.
The first two rails are considered siding, so they're only running a couple mile an hour. So he's not right next to the active rail itself.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's kind of hard to hear you folks.
Yeah, we're still tweaking our process here, John, so.
Okay. Well, that's perfect now, Brian. That's perfect.
Andy, did you have any public comments then?
The only public comment I had was from Mr. Ford as well, and his concern was pretty much what the mayor just stated about proximity to the rails. But since those first two tracks are sidings that are not the active tracks that are doing 40 miles per hour, so that was the only concern I heard on this one.
I might mention to, or just throw out when sometimes we've been working on the opposite side of tracks, that granary building. I'll need to work with Andy and Brian on that as well. Hopefully we're getting it cleaned up a little bit. We got a few trees put in, and that'll be the next thing, is figure out what to do with that once it's semi-restored and put into a decent look. I know the mayor wants to put a bridge across the train station to the greenery, so that'll be our next step.
Oh, nice pressure, Dr. Trippy. I love it. Keep us dreaming.
John and I have talked about this before. He will be back again at some point in time because that lot, I believe, is also zoned industrial. So, you know, once he gets his ducks in a row,
Well, I guess on point. We'll be working on that greenery and hopefully get that set up, and certainly can use anybody's ideas of what we put there, be it from a farmer's market to you name it. So we want to get that area kind of cleaned up for that east side of town. So thank you very much for your time and consideration.
All right. Does anybody have any further comments or questions for Dr. Trippy or Andrew or myself?
Back in 44 and 45, we used to work on the railroad Saturdays and Sundays. We cleaned the restrooms and put the baggage carts out at the rail so the post or the ticket master didn't have to do it. And at one time there was 119 kids worked on the railroad.
Oh my God. Yeah, I gotta tell you. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
We rode the lorries to Stryker to clean the ice out of the pans in the winter.
What we're doing. One day I was out here working, and the engineer pulled up and stopped right in front of a little 8-year-old and myself. And I don't think you should do this. He waved over and he threw down some water and asked me to actually get up in the engineer's seat actually with him. And all the workers have stopped by. It feels like a really nice combination, especially because it's a working yard. So the people walking back across the yard are always coming in and checking things out. So it feels really nice.
Fire department have any comment?
No, we've looked at the program as it's went through. As far as the state plans, have no issues.
How about utilities? Nate or Bob, do you have anything from you to add?
Oh, I have nothing. I just want to thank John for investing in the community also. It's a great thing he's doing for the community, but we have no issues with it.
All right, gentlemen, I think we're at that point. What's your pleasure?
I move we approve and move forward.
Thank you, Doug. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Hallett. Andrew, go ahead and call roll when you're ready.
Okay, we've got a motion on the floor to approve the use variance for a restaurant / drinking establishment in an I-2 district. Mayor or
Yes,
Doug,
yes.
Answer.
Dick,
Yes. Yes.
Gary,
Yes.
Tyson,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Barney.
Yes.
All right, motion carried, use variance approved.
All right, Andrew, is there any other business?
All right, thanks, John. I'll get you supporting paperwork here this week.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, thanks, John.
God bless everybody. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
All right, Andrew, I see nothing else on the agenda. Do you have anything else to add?
I do not at this time.
All right, then I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Thank you, Carrie. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion.
Thank you, Barney. Andrew, go ahead and call roll.
Okay, motion on the floor to adjourn. Carrie,
Yes.
Barney,
Yes.
Tyson,
Yes.
Dick,
Yes.
Brian,
Yes.
Doug.
Yes.
All right, motion carried, meeting adjourned.